Hey everyone, it's Rob here from the KB Cabinet channel, and today I am actually on site at a house that we're about to do cabinets for, and I am in one of the bathrooms here. This is going to be a small bathroom, and I wanted to make a video on how I go about putting a vanity cabinet in. We're just going to focus on a bathroom vanity, and if we come into the room, you know, there's a couple things we're looking at here. We've got some pipes coming out of the ground and out of the wall here. We got a blue pipe here, and then this thing in the ground. And so what we're actually looking at is this is going to be the water plumbing for the sink, and this is the toilet. And so we're going to quickly go over how I measure this out to put a vanity in. What I measure, and then we're gonna put it in a CAD, and then we're gonna build something, and we'll see how how it looks using the dimensions of their actual pipe, their plumbing, versus what the customer wanted me to say, because they give me what they want, and then I have to come out here and field verify to see if we can make that happen. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a rough drawing of the dimensions of the room. All right, so here's my handy dandy artboard. So the only walls that I'm really worried about is that wall and then that wall. There's gonna be a tub there, but for now I'm just gonna come in here, and I am going to just draw a wall like that. And you guys probably have a lot better artistic skills than me, but you're just gonna have to bear with me. So we know that there's a pipe here, plumbing here, so that's gonna be the sink. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna put a tick here, right there. And then we've got a toilet that's gonna be right there. And what I'm gonna do, just a fancy little square and a circle. That's a toilet. Gotta use your imagination. So the measurements that I'm most concerned about is gonna be the center of this from that wall and the center of the toilet from the same wall. So I'm just gonna draw a little arrow representing that I'm taking measurements from that wall to the center of each one. All right, if I lay my tape down, we can kind of see what we have to work with. And so one thing to note is there's not sheetrock here. So I measured the thickness of this sheetrock, and I'm gonna subtract it from my measurement. So if we come in here and we'll just kind of guess, we'll say, it doesn't have to be totally exact, but that's pretty close. So we're gonna say 30 and a half minus that ½ inch. So we're gonna go with 30 inches here for the center of the sink plumbing. And then here we've got roughly 59 3/4. So we'll go 59 1/4. And I'll put it on that manila. So I've got it transcribed to my folder. You can kind of see I put some annotations there, but it's really not rocket science. Got my sink plumbing 30 inches off the left wall to the center, and then the toilet center is going to be 59 1/4. And the reason why it's important, especially for this toilet measurement, is that I know I want to make sure that I build a sink cabinet where the plumbing fits in, but this toilet center is going to tell me how far I can come out before it starts getting too close. And we can kind of determine more or less, you know, from here what we're probably looking at. And if we say we'll just use 60, me personally, I try to leave at least 18 inches. So you're going to have, what is that going to be, like a 42-inch vanity, something along that line. So I know that I'm probably 42 inches is going to probably be the max distance I'm going to want to come out before it starts getting real tight. So now that we have all the measurements we need on site, we are going to jump over to CAD and we are going to draw this out. Now, I am in Cabinet Vision. A lot of you probably have no clue about this program. Some of you might have heard of it. Some of you guys might be well versed in it, but at any rate, that's what I'm using. So first thing I'm going to do is create a new job. And let's name this vanity tutorial. And this might not make sense to a lot of you guys out there, but that's okay. What this is doing, let's say, we'll call this hall bath. It's allowing me to select some pre-built settings that I have already on my software. So we're not gonna worry about too much of that. We are gonna go with a shaker style door because that's pretty common. We're gonna hit OK. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build 2 walls that match our little drawing over here, this beautiful work of art. Now I realized while I was actually at the house, I did not get this measurement right here. I personally didn't need it because I knew that the depth that I'm going to be making this vanity at, which is 21 inches, is going to be, that wall is going to be much deeper than that, but it is a good idea to get that measurement. So what we're going to do, we'll just pretend, I know 21 is what I want, so we're going to call this 50 and then 50 by 100. That sounds good. So we're going to come over here and select walls, which is going to allow me to draw a wall. Let's go 50 and 100. Perfect, just like that. Alright, so now we have our wall. So we go back here to our picture. So now we have got some plumbing that we want to mark down, and then we got the toilet. So we're going to take a look at this toilet here first. So I'm going to go to Objects, Appliances, Not Appliances, Furnishings, Bath and Toilets. Oh, we got a toilet and a bidet. Got to go with the bidet. It's a fancy house, so maybe they're going to rock a bidet. Alright, so if I click this bidet, I've got an inspector panel over here. What we're going to take a look at is the center position, specifically from the left. And we're going to go 59 1/4 because that's what we measured. So that's pretty much, should be real world exact. So we've got our toilet placed, and so now let's take a look at some plumbing. Alright, the plumbing is, to put marks on this is going to be a little less intuitive. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this program sometimes, but at any rate, so we're going to put a little circle to measure out our plumbing. And so we know it's going to be 30 inches. I'll put a little red mark. Snap. So here's 30. Okay, so this is going to represent 30 inches from the wall. And let's, boom. Boom. Wow, that might be a little big, but yeah, let's see. Come on, can I re-shrink that thing? No? Okay, there we go. Let's make this guy like that. Yeah, that looks better. It's not so big and bold. Alright, so we got toilet and we got plumbing. Now we just need cabinet. So let's put a cabinet in. So I'm going to catalogs. We're going to go to custom cabinets. I'm going to stick with what Cabinet Vision has pre-built, what it comes with, so you guys have an idea, because I have a custom library, but we're going to go with what comes stock in the program. So we're going to drag this bad boy here and just put it down. Alright, so right off the bat, by default, it's going to give us a 30 inch wide, 35 tall, and 24 deep, which is, none of that is what we want. So let's start with the depth. We know it's 21 inches deep. Boom. Alright, the height, we're going to go with 33 on the height. Old school's 29 1/2. You got kitchen height, which is 34.5 to 35, which is common, but we're going to do 33. It's the best of both worlds. And on the width, alright, so we said, I think I said earlier, we like to try from the center of the toilet to where the cabinet starts to be 18 inches is the minimum distance. So if we take 59.25, so 59.25 minus 18, that gives us 41.25. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cheat a little bit, which I don't like to do. We're going to call it an even 42, which is a little less than 18, but it'll probably work out. So we see that so this client of mine, they want a vanity cabinet that has drawers on one side. They didn't care what side, so we got to figure that out based on where the plumbing is. So we're going to have to designate the right side of this cabinet is going to be our sink side, and then the drawer side is over here. So we're going to come in here and we're going to delete all of this out of here. So we just got a blank space. So quick overview, we're on the 1.5 inch system. So currently as it stands, our face frame is 1.5 inch all the way around, standard 1/2 inch for the body parts. Pretty standard how I would imagine most people build a cabinet. Alright, so we're going to click this right in the center, and I'm going to put a vertical split. I'm going to put this back to 1.5 inches. And so what that did is it split it in half. It gave us 2 doors on each side, which is not what we want, so let's delete those out. But it's starting to break up our cabinet. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this left side here, because this is where the drawers are going to be. So let's click here, and we're going to make this a 3-drawer cabinet. So by default, what's happening here is it's splitting it into 3, and it's sizing them based on how I have pre-set up my program to do it. And I like to have the top drawer 5.5 inches tall, and do it on everything I do, unless, well, 99.5% of the time, unless I'm matching an old style cabinet. But if it's new, top drawer is going to be 5.5. The top space, face frame to face frame. Alright, so that looks pretty good, but they look a little wide. So let's go to the width here, and we'll just, for now, I'm going to put 12, because that seems to be that seems to work out for me with this size of a cabinet. So now that we've got 12, I'm going to come over here and lock the width, because if I make any changes, I don't want that width to change. Alright, so now while we're over here, this side is up against a wall. If you're standing in front of those drawers, you can get a little tight. So what I like to do is make this left style, or if it was reversed, be the right style, a little thicker to kind of bump that out from the wall, so you got a little space. So instead of 1.5 inches, we're going to put 2.25, like that. Alright, that left side's looking good, so we're going to come over here to this right side. We're going to go ahead and do a horizontal split. That kind of split it in half, which is not what we want. We're going to come over here, and we're going to make this height 5.5 to match the left side. We're going to turn this into a false front. So obviously it's a sink. You can't have a drawer. You could have a tilt tray, but you can't have a drawer, so that's why that's false. And then we're going to come to this open space, and we're just going to put a pair of doors. So that's it. We've got our shaker doors on there, 3 drawers. Let's see if we got a wire mode. So pretty cool. So this is all one cabinet, and this is pre-built in a shop to where I don't want to build anything actually on site. All of our cabinets are they're built in the shop, and then we go out and install them. On something this size, let's go ahead and rename it. So no, we're going to put vanity vanity sink, and we're going to put 3-drawer, and this is how I just personally name it, 42. If something this size, like, we can build it all in one, but if we start getting bigger or big runs like a master bath, then I'll start splitting it up where this is its own cabinet and then it's its own sink cabinet. But for something like this, it's very manageable to have it pre-built and then take it into the house and just cut the holes out for plumbing. We generally put a back on it. There's a lot of people out there that will either stop the back right here, so you only have a back come to here, which is perfectly fine. I just put a back on it because it looks cleaner. If you got some nice, just small holes for the plumbing, and everything matches when you open the cabinet door. And then so then the plumbing is going to fit right smack in the middle of these doors. So overall, I think it's going to be a successful cabinet for this. I know that this video's probably, or this topic's probably pretty rudimentary. A lot of you guys out there probably already know, I'm not covering anything crazy. It's simple, but I do find myself training people pretty frequently, so I'm constantly kind of talking about the basics. So if you stuck around this long and you got something out of it, I very much appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.